Ohio State's game against Maryland was canceled. Terps paused all team-related activities due to a rise in COVID-19 cases. Earlier today on Get Up, our Heather Dinich spoke about the potential impact that has on Ohio State's playoff chances.
It could change their resume and how the selection committee views them. I mean, look, they have to play, first of all, 6 games in order to compete in the Big Ten championship game. So let's start there. They already lost one of those opportunities. But if Ohio State plays every single game left on its schedule, goes undefeated, and wins the Big Ten, you're looking at an 8-0 resume. If the Pac-12 champion plays every single game and wins its league, you're looking at a 7-0 resume. So as those games continue to be canceled or changed, you start to see that picture change. And I'll remind everyone just how important one game can be in the eyes of the committee. Remember the first year of the college football playoff when the Big 12 did not have its conference championship game? That data point mattered a lot. And look, they consider every single game, and how many games you play eventually is going to factor into the debate.
And coincidentally, it was Ohio State who went to the playoff instead. Remember, they were a third-string quarterback because of that big, convincing win over Wisconsin in the Big Ten championship game. So here are the current national title odds. Ohio State, the second favorite at plus 190. Remember, Big Ten reduced schedule, as Heather was just alluding to. And thus, when you have a game removed and it's one less than 8 instead of 12 or whatever it may be, that matters. Back with Steve and Joe here. So knowing that, and even the Heisman betting as well for Justin Fields, the star quarterback, what do you make? Could the Buckeyes have enough opportunity here?
Well, they have the name Ohio State, so they're going to have a big benefit of the doubt. I just am thinking down the road, like, what are we going to compare? Are we going to possibly compare Ohio State, undefeated Ohio State, to a one-loss Notre Dame that has a win over Clemson? Like, I'm worried about their resume, though, because what's their resume going to be?
Indiana in a couple weeks. Penn State.
Next week. And that game's got to be in jeopardy with all the protocol, right? So if they don't get the Indiana game, look at this. I mean, that there's not a win there where you feel good about it. And the most important thing is, if we're going to go by the eye test, you're not going to be able to see their secondary, their offensive line units that people have questions about. You're not going to be able to see them get tested. So how good are they really? We're not going to know.
If they go undefeated, they're getting in. And I'll bet that. I'll bet it big right now.
So even like 5-0.
Well, don't they? That's
6.
6.
So they have to have 6. Okay.
Yeah.
Minimum, you go 6-0, you're in. Number one, we have a nice track record here, like you said, with the name.
Yeah.
6 years of the playoff. They've been in 3 years, including last year. You're telling me the undefeated best team from the Big Ten, one of the best conferences in the country, who has a front runner for the Heisman Trophy, is going to be left out because of COVID? This is a perfect situation for the committee this year to be able to pick and choose as they want to see fit. You can make the case. Who's going to knock Ohio State? Well, they didn't play anyone. They played what they were able to get. Maryland wasn't going to get in their way. Let's be honest. I love SVP, but Maryland wasn't going to be getting in their way there. And at the same time, money and ratings drive this thing. And if I remember correctly, I think Ohio State is the biggest alumni network in the entire country.
And the college football playoff is an agreement between the 5 Power Fives. It's not NCAA driving it. It's an agreement between the Power 5 conferences. If the Buckeyes, who are ranked among the top teams, this isn't about Wisconsin being undefeated without a quarterback a few years ago. But I do think, comparing it to the first year of the playoff, we have to remember this is different. They'll think outside the box in 2020 because of COVID and everything.
No doubt. And stats aren't going to matter, because teams are going to have played different games. But like a one-loss Alabama, if they were to lose an SEC title game, you got to think about who they're going to be getting compared to. And if these teams have fuller resumes, it could come down to more deserving. It could.
An undefeated Ohio State. So that's the question. If you like the Buckeyes to win the championship, like the odds, you'd feel comfortable not saying don't worry about the schedule.
Very comfortable right now. The schedule isn't what worries me. If they go undefeated, they're getting in my opinion. I don't see how the committee would want to leave.
I think it's more projecting the unknown, right?
Yeah.
If other games get canceled, like the Wisconsin or the Maryland this weekend. So things like that, we don't know what's around the corner. So they could end up with 5. Now, I said earlier about Justin Fields. He's among the favorites right now for the Heisman Trophy. Second, right behind Alabama's Mac Jones. For so long, Trevor Lawrence was the favorite. He's now 3-1. Don't sleep on Kyle Trask. Obviously, 22 passing touchdowns, so that's tied for the FBS lead. And obviously, the Gators are on a path to the SEC title game and the Heisman awarded after conference championship game. So a lot of guys at the top, obviously quarterbacks, no surprise. You got anyone you'd circle?
I'm a guy that really thinks you should play in every game. I think, and even in the NBA, I think games played is a big deal, especially for me. But as we know, this is the worst voted on trophy in sports, and it's probably my favorite. It is. I mean, just go look. I mean, history tells you. I will say Kyle Trask is definitely worth a shot. If you shop around, you could definitely get a better price than 7-1. I'll just say that there. But you look at what he has for an opportunity. He has a chance to beat an undefeated Alabama team, and no one else on that list that we showed has any kind of ability to do that. Now, Ian Book did his deal against Clemson. Can he do it again? That's the breaks, man. Like that. I'm sorry. That's the way the cards are on that side. But our kid Trask has a chance. I mean, you mentioned the stats in a year where I just said stats really shouldn't matter because of the difference in games played. I still think Trask is definitely.
Well, Steve, you do walk the walk because not just talk about. You've been out here working when everyone else is off the show. He's playing every game himself. Hey, let's bring in Preston Johnson. Preston, what do you make of Kyle Trask at 7-1 to win the Heisman?